Hi guys, so I thought I would do a little video on how I draw a dog's nose. As you can see, I'm just going in at the moment with the Pablo grey and just adding in some of those base layers. That's the Derwent Drawing Ivory Black and the Polychromos dark brown. Just building up some layers. I usually make my own blacks rather than just using straight black. I'm going in with the grey, the dark grey Pablo there. Adding in some of the light tones as a base layer that I'll be laying my darker tones over. Just erasing some of the transfer lines from the trace down. I'm adding all these layers with circular motions to try and keep the texture of the nose, and it also smooths out the pencils. This is the blue-grey Pablo. There was a lot of blue tones in this nose. A lot of highlights reflecting from the background as this was taken at a beach. One of the best reasons to always look at your reference photo is a color is not just one color but a mix of different colors, especially in realism. A lot of other colors reflect onto your subject. I used a lot of Pablos for these, mixed with a couple of the Polychromos. The Pablos are really nice for getting smooth, shiny texture, as they're quite smooth compared to some of the other ones, especially compared to the Polychromos. There's the light grey Pablo, still keeping to those circular motions. Now I'm just going in now with some solvent just to blend them all together. You don't have to do this, but I prefer to, rather than burnishing straight away. And it also helps get that shiny effect and give you more layers to layer upon. Just adding in around the muzzle to show some definition of the nose where it meets the muzzle. Again, there was a lot of greys and blues in the muzzle as well. Going in the fur direction, but also trying to keep it smooth. Darkening up those areas. It starts to give the nose a bit of a 3D effect, adding in that contrast. We're going on with the blue-grey. And darkening up that again. On this particular reference photo, the nose, the way the angle was taken for this photo, the nose almost met the top of the bridge of the head. So it was important to define that while doing the nose for this particular dog. This dog is actually a brindle staffy, so I thought it would be kind of cool in a future video to show how I do brindle fur, always paying attention to the reference and the fur direction and the colours that are reflecting. With coloured pencil, you always want to layer light to dark, so you want to go in with your light colours and then darken them slowly as you start to build them up. And as you can see, I'm leaving all the highlighted areas. Darkening them up slightly again, always using those circular motions. Leaving all the detail, this is just blocking in colour. Do the detail last, and it's the blue-grey. Re-adding those blue tones in there, and the light grey. This also helps to blend those colours together. I'm doing this really lightly, not to add highlights but to blend those darker colours in. Really starting to show those blue tones. And just going back over with some solvent. And using the kneaded eraser just to erase some of those transfer lines once again. Defining the area around the top of the nose. It's also important to remember that there are no harsh outlines or any outlines in realism. It's all getting those dark tones in there, and it helps to create the illusion that there's a line when really it's just where the colours meet that makes it look like it has a bit of an outline. I turn my drawing upside down just to help see the shapes better and to get a new perspective. Sometimes things can look a little off if you rotate it or looking at it at a different angle. So this is why I turn it upside down. Now I'm starting to add the tiny details, slowly building them up the same way I built up the colours. Staying in those circular motions and really starting to define the little textured parts of the nose. The Derwent Drawing Black is really good for getting a really rich black. Even though I make my own blacks usually, it still sometimes calls for a really defined black. A different drawing is great for that. Once again, darkening up the areas around the nose where it meets the muzzle. You can see how this makes the nose pop, rather than just being like a flat shape. Adding some highlights. And I'm just going in with the jelly pen, just to add those real white highlights. And I blend them out with my finger. Now just adding the last little details and the texture around the nose and the nostrils. And that's how I draw a dog's nose in coloured pencils. Thank you for watching. Please comment and like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!